everyone. How are you guys doing today? And I hope you're all well. Welcome. And today we're going to discover PointPay a bit deeper. We have the CEO here, Vladimir Karnapoltev, and he's going to, tell a bit more about PointPay. We're going to also ask some questions right there. Vladimir, would you like to introduce yourself?
Thank you very much for inviting me over. Yes, I'm the CEO of PointPay. We are a cryptocurrency banking platform. We've been in operation since 2018. Our company serves more than 250,000 people at the moment, and we're expanding very, very soon. Our financial ecosystem includes the blockchain-based bank, a crypto wallet, a crypto exchange, and a payment system. A little bit about myself. I joined the company about a year ago in May 2001 as a chief project officer. And later I was asked by the board to head the company as a CEO. I was, in the past year, I was overlooking the completion of the ICO and the growth of the company from 15 to 150 employees, development of certain products, starting of the new products. Yeah, so I think that's my little introduction about the project and about myself.
All right, that's very impressive, actually. So who will actually benefit from your project? What's the target audience for you guys?
So the target audience is mainly, well, it's pretty much everybody. It's the novice traders who are just entering the industry, who are interested in this, new, the thing that has been, that existed for many, many years. But, for some people, it's still a new thing. It hasn't been around the block for decades, and it's also the professional traders as well. So for the novice traders, our interface is incredibly simple. We have videos which explain to you how to do, from everything, what's a blockchain, how to buy things. And we pretty much have videos for novice traders that guide you through this process through our crypto school. And for the experienced traders, we have a very intuitive interface in our exchange. We support all of the major cryptocurrencies, and we are going to be expanding our services in terms of the currency pairs and in terms of the kind of overall offering. We're going to be introducing margin trading, futures trading, options trading by the end of the year. So our system will become even more whole.
All right. So it looks like you have the world's largest range of crypto services all in one. But what fees and limits are there in the ecosystem?
The internal transfers are free. We know that some platforms actually charge you for transferring money between your accounts. In our system, you can send, if it's an internal transfer within the system, we will not charge you for it. And if it's transfer between, your wallet account or your exchange account, we won't charge you for that as well. It doesn't cost us any money, so we don't think we should be charging anybody for that either. In terms of our trading fees, it's the same. It's one of the lowest in the industry. It's 0.05%. It's lower than most of the crypto exchange. It's great. And also, if you hold our token, you will get a reduced fee for your trading. So yeah, that's pretty much it.
That does sound pretty fair, to be honest. You don't really need to charge for something you don't have to pay as a company. So that's really cool, actually. But how, when it's going through your webpage, I've seen the loan system. How does it work in the project?
You can take out loans in different cryptocurrencies. There are stable coins such as USDT, DAI as well, USDC, and you have to have a deposit, your collateral, to prove that you will be able to pay it back, and then you will have to select the amount of time you want to borrow the money for. We have one of the most competitive rates in the industry. I think at the moment it stands at 12%. In terms of the annual percentage. So I think that's great as well.
Okay, that sounds really good. And also, it has its own PXP token, right? So what are the benefits for the holders of the coin and stacking and stuff like this? You already mentioned some of them, but not even more.
Great question. Thank you. So one of the main advantages of PXP, it's probably its future value. We are increasing the utility of the token every single month. At the moment, you can trade it on 4 platforms: Bittrex, BitTrue, BitGlobal, and hoping for a listing on a tier platform by the end of this year. So the utility will only increase. In terms of the existing utility, you are able to cut the maker-taker fees on our exchange. You are able to stack your tokens. You can get up to 20%. So in terms of that, but that really depends, on the amount of PXP that you hold. So it's on a progressive scale as well. In terms of the future utility, we are planning to introduce the conversion of the small balances into PXP. That did wonders for the Binance token. So we're planning to introduce that as well. And in terms of our launch board, you will be able to use your PXP token for voting for listing for future projects on our launch board as well. For, in terms of you would be able to stack your token, and by doing so, you will be able to vote for the project that you want to be listed on our exchange.
Yeah. All right. That sounds actually phenomenal. It does look like you guys have everything planned out. But as for now, what methods of buying crypto do you currently support on PointPay?
Well, we have regular credit cards, so Visa and MasterCard. We have the bank transfers. We pretty much support most of the systems that are, that are available on Binance or, crypto.com or any other system. We support SEPA, Single European Payments Area. Quite a lot of our customers are from Europe, so that's incredibly useful for them. We support Apple Pay, Google Pay, Samsung Pay. We also have quite a lot of payment partnerships like Mercurio, etc. And we are adding new partners pretty much every week. Half of my working day is spent, talking to our partners, payment providers, partners, and I think very, very soon we will kind of complete this whole thing, and we will be providing one of the most comprehensive offerings in terms of the payments. But at the moment, we support all of the major ones. We cover about 90% of the market.
That's really good that you support so many ways of buying crypto. What about exchange features? What makes your exchange better than any other project?
First of all, I just want to say that, when I joined the company, I was tasked with, as a CPO, to rewriting the exchange. Old exchange was not very scalable. It wasn't multi-threading. It wasn't fit for purpose, we are creating, our mission is to create an ecosystem and a bank for 7 billion people. That's in our, that's our mission statement, but it sounds very grand. At the moment, we have 250,000, and our exchange wasn't really written, the old exchange wasn't really written in the way that could support even 1 million, so my first task in the company was rewriting the whole thing. We've done it successfully. I announced a couple of weeks ago that we've completely rewritten the whole thing. We use a new language. We use new, modern technologies. So that's in terms of the exchange. So now it's, it's fit for purpose. It could support millions upon millions of people using the exchange. I think our speed is only a fraction of a second away from the Binance's speed, but the Binance has huge budgets. They have £1 billion budgets, and we don't really have so. But, our system is pretty much as good as the Binance ones. And in terms of our exchange, we have the classic exchange for users who are used to, when they just joined the crypto industry, the very standard layout. So we have that for people, so you would be familiar with, if you go to every, Binance, they have their classic one and they have their new one, which we also have. So we have two interfaces. We have the classic one and we have the advanced one. And the advanced one is pretty much, it's very seamless. You only see what you need to see. And buying crypto is incredibly easy. You have your graph, you have your, order book, and you have your button for buying. And we have an even simpler exchange, which is called Quick Exchange. There, you just need to type in what you want to buy and press buy. So I think a toddler would be able to complete this easy task. And in terms of the exchange, in the future, as I said before, we are planning to add margin trading, futures trading, and other bits of trading. Since we have rebuilt this foundation, we're going to be introducing new, even more exciting, more complex products, and the development is in progress at the moment.
Yeah, I'm really happy to see how the whole kind of refurbishment, the update is going, and it's really great to see. But if it's already so, accessible to everyone, if someone has a crypto project, what do they need to apply for a listing on your ecosystem? How does it all work?
Well, at the moment, it's still we have completed our launch board. I was the person who started it. So we at the moment you can only apply as a company. So you would have to fill in a very easy application form. There aren't that many questions, and then one of our people will contact you, and we will talk to you. We'll have an interview, and then our investment committee, listing committee, will make a decision whether to list your token or not. So that's one bit. The second bit that we're developing at the moment is called the ballot system or the voting system. So as I mentioned before, the community will be able to propose the projects, or the projects will be able to enter our ballot system completely for free. So they will have to fill in all of their essential information, and then our community will decide whether this project is worthy enough of our listing or not. And that would be done by stacking your tokens, and in return, after 7 days, you would get your PXPs back, and you would get a small number of the company's tokens, in return for your successful vote. So that's how it will work. A couple of projects already do so. So, we think it's a great way of increasing the utility of the token and getting more community engagement, because our community is quite important to us. So,
of course, it's crucial at that point, isn't it? But what functionalities are currently supported in the mobile apps on iOS and Android?
So at the moment, we have wallets, we have bank accounts, we have stacking, and we are going through the redesign process. I think the old design is quite old. It's 2 or 3 years old, and back in the day, we didn't have that much money to spend on the design, if I'm honest. So it's still the pre-ICO design. So we've redesigned the whole system. We've released the video where we showed the new design, and at the moment it's at the last stages of implementation. It's going through some final testing, and I think by the end of April we will be releasing the new design of the apps to the general public, which also will include the exchange, because before the exchange wasn't available, only the quick exchange, where you can only select two currencies, but the advanced version of the exchange will be available in the new app as well, and the crypto school. So,
all right, that's pretty good to hear. But especially with having so many features, the security might be a problem, right? So what standards of protection, security, or confidentiality and anonymity are you guys using in the project? What are put in place?
Well, PointPay is incredibly secure, and first of all, we have a military-grade encryption to store the private keys of PointPay. It is kept in several locations. Only 2 people have access to it. I don't. I'm not going to tell you who, but we have the cold storage that we use to store our funds, so it couldn't be stolen by anybody. What else? We have a monthly PCI DSS compliance audit every single month. We publish it on our website. It's in our footer. So people know that our system is incredibly secure. What else? We have some internal mechanisms to protect against the suspicious activities. Automatic logouts, tracking of the IPs. Pretty much all of the industry standards, we've implemented it a very long time ago. And what else? Also, we have a monthly security and infrastructure audit by an external company who come and audit every single bit of our infrastructure to make sure that it is secure. So
that's really great. You're putting that much stress on security. You can't never put too much.
We deal with money, so that's a very important thing. And there are quite a lot of history lessons to be learned from past mistakes of different exchanges. So we take it very, very seriously.
That's really good. You're actually looking at other projects past, and you guys are seeing what they did wrong so we can improve on it. But about the wallet, right, there's already a lot of security put in place, but is the wallet equally, secure and safe? And what features are you supporting in the wallet at the moment? You can make all of the payments in one click. I think that's the convenience, first of all, that you have one account for both web and the mobile applications where you can receive and send funds. It's incredibly intuitive. The new design will be even simpler. So in terms of the user experience and the user interface, it's, perfect. And as I said before, you can transfer money between 2 PointPay users for free and between your products for free as well. But obviously you have to pay the fee if you want to transfer it externally. That's, the standard Ethereum fees. It's not, it's calculated dynamically. It's an industry standard as well. Yeah, it's not up to you, right?
Yeah, so it's not up to us. So at the moment we support 14 different cryptocurrencies. The most popular ones like, Bitcoin, ETH, and others, popular stable coins. But by the end of spring, we will be increasing that number, because we know that, places like Binance or MyEtherScan or anything like that, hundreds and millions and thousands of coins. So we will be introduced by the end of spring. So Ethereum, ERC20 based currencies, and then we will expand towards the own blockchain currencies by the end of the year. Unfortunately, they take a bit of time to add, and it's sometimes could be quite painful. But yeah, we are exporting it. And in terms of security, as I said again, we use cold and hot wallets. 98% of our money is stored in cold storage, 2% is stored in hot storage. So that's, make sure that your funds are secure, they're unhackable, and that we will always be able to pay you whatever you store in our wallet.
That's really good to hear, and also that fresh updates in the springtime are going to be really fun to see. But you also are launching the launch board, right? This new service, and that you're launching. What is it exactly? What is it for?
Well, we call it the launch board. You already have the launch pad that is used by the Binance, and we didn't really want to use the same word for maybe copyright reasons, but we saw other people using that. Well, anyway, so we decided to name it launch board. I think it's a recognizable name. If you say launch board, I think quite a lot of people in the industry will understand what you're talking about. So it's a new project that I've started at the end of summer. Now it kind of is coming to fruition, really, because we did all of the internal developments, and now we're scouting for new projects. So we already have about 2 or 3 projects in the pipeline. Pretty much, we are looking for our flagship project at the moment, because for us, it's quality above quantity, because there are so many platforms that people could list their token on, and we're really looking for the one at the moment which will raise a lot of money, and that will show everybody that, our platform is working, our community is active, and we are capable of raising a lot of money on our platform. So that's the purpose of the launch board.
All right, that sounds pretty cool, honestly. This kind of new solutions that you're putting in place. But once you register, right, what is required to access all of your services? You need a KYC verification.
So in our platform, you have 3 levels of KYC. We call them KYC 0, KYC 1, and KYC 2. When you join the platform and we confirm your email, you get KYC 0 status. Afterwards, if you confirm your address and your name, we give you KYC 1, and then if you upload your passport, we give you KYC 2. So in terms of the withdrawals, you won't be able to withdraw anything exceeding $1,000 if you don't have KYC 1. I believe that's all due to the regulatory reasons, because we are applying we already have a license in Lithuania, and we're in advanced stages of applying for the license in Estonia. So that's all European Union data and crypto regulations, and they ask us to confirm the name and confirm the source of funds from those people. And also, because we have a crypto bank, we are in the process of applying for a banking license. They also request us to collect this kind of information. So that's all to do with mainly the compliance. So yeah,
that's really good. Actually, you want to know basically what kind of people are using PointPay, so it's not some some people who don't get crypto from
money laundering and stuff like that, and also the European Union asks us to check the person against the Interpol list, against the anti-money laundering list, terrorist financing list, politically exposed persons list. So there are quite a lot of lists that we have to check people against, and obviously we have an AI system that checks it every month or so, because it's impossible to check those people manually. That's one. And second of all, by regulation, we have to check them every half a year, and the lists constantly change. So we kind of have to, due to the compliance reasons, we have to do that. But that makes it even more secure, I believe.
Yeah, exactly. You're really closer to catching the bad guys that actually do that kind of money laundering, for example. But about the tech support, right? You have it in what languages? Because I presume there's people from all sorts and all different parts of the world are using PointPay, so you probably need support in different languages. And what time are they working? And same thing with the time zones, right? People just have different.
So we have 20, I believe 24 Telegram chats in different languages. Obviously, our most active ones are the Brazilian one in Portuguese and the English one as well. But we have very active communities in China, in the Arabic countries as well. And our support, we have support working in 20 languages. Some people work in we have a person, who works in Spanish and French and English, and we cover 24/7 for most of the major chats, and I think for some of the more regional ones, we cover slightly less, but we have community moderators as well, volunteers who help us to, weed out all of those problems, and, our response time is within an hour, which I think is, for the project of our size, I think it's quite great. But obviously, as our community will grow, we will get more people to help us with support, with dealing with the customers' issues and with managing the chats as well.
Yeah, that's really great that you're actually putting, quite a lot of stress on the tech support, especially that crypto can be problematic, for the users. It's sometimes hard to, maneuver, but with PointPay, it is also quite user-friendly, I would say. But the latest news from your project, can you tell us a bit more about it and, tell more about your socials as well?
So the latest news, what we've completed was the rewriting of the exchange, of course, the launching of our launchpad and the redesign of the mobile app and the whole web interface as well. So that's what is happening within this month, I think, so that's kind of our most recent developments and developments to be within a very short foreseeable future. In terms of our socials and the promotions, I do constant interviews with people like yourself, the opinion leaders in the crypto world. Quite recently, I did a big interview with CoinDesk, which was reposted on all of their 7 million, follower Twitter and Facebook. I discussed with them my experiences of running a 150-person company with employees in both Russia and Ukraine, and how it affected our business. We do constant posts on all of the industry related publications. We did one quite recently on NASDAQ, Yahoo Finance. So we constantly do marketing campaigns. And of course, as we will finish developing our platform, we are anticipating a huge marketing campaign very, very soon. We are currently at the moment of planning it. So we will be attracting quite a lot of people, towards our platform. And of course, we do our burns quite regularly, which the last one, I think, was the 17th burn. We burned 2.2 million PXP tokens, and that attracted quite a lot of publicity as well.
Right, so that's all really great. But how do you see the interactions between traditional and cryptocurrency markets nowadays, especially?
Well, PointPay team wants to bridge the gap between the traditional banking and the cryptocurrency world. We think it is incredibly important, and that's our mission statement, really. We're not opposing the traditional banks. I think the best way that the banks and the cryptocurrencies could work is together, So we want us to collaborate and not to, diverge apart. We develop our products that together constitute an ecosystem, and our financial ecosystem pretty much covers all of the possible needs of a cryptocurrency investor. So our main 4 products are the CryptoBank, where you could exchange, you could save money, you could use money. We're currently developing our credit cards, so it will operate in exactly the same way as a traditional bank will work. So the next pillar of our system is our exchange, where, as I mentioned before, you have different interfaces. We are increasing the number of, the amount of products that is offered on there. We have a crypto wallet, which is quite fast, which is very convenient, and we have a payment system which supports, pretty much every single payment system in the world, especially SEPA. That was very, very hard thing to get. So, it works as a regular bank, and our ecosystem works in a very, very regular way, to the extent where you could, get crypto loans. And I think in the future, I hope, maybe in 5 years' time, you would be able to get a crypto mortgage, or you would be able, you would be able to get, to walk into the metaverse PointPay bank. So, I think the possibilities are quite endless, really.
Yeah, I agree with it because, after all, we need to take a lot of inspiration from traditional markets and how they, run. But looking at the state of, the stock market, for example, it's not doing that good. So what are your predictions for the crypto market for the current and next years?
Well, I don't really like to make any kind of predictions, especially about the cryptocurrency market, because it is so unstable and it's so volatile. Making, I think only a fool could really make any predictions about the future price of anything. But what I think I could say is that, the wider adoption of cryptocurrencies is inevitable, and it was inevitable 5 years ago. Now I think it is, estimated that half a billion people will own Bitcoin by the end of this year. So that's a huge number of people that will only increase in the future. And I think with the recent conflict between Russia and Ukraine, showed us the importance of stablecoins within our society. In Russia, it is now, and Ukraine as well, it is impossible to buy dollars or euros or any kind of foreign currency. And savvy investors, young investors like, myself or anybody else could simply buy USDT, which is incredibly simple. So, we're still waiting for the developments in terms of the regulation in this area. And I think this is one of the major aspects that stops the industry growing, because back in the day, if you, in America, for example, you would have to get a license in every single state. I think they're moving towards a single license in America, and in Europe, it is getting much simpler. So, some currencies like China, some countries like China, want to just close their eyes and just ignore this problem, which I think is not a great way of doing things. If you have this growing industry that is very promising, you have to, welcome it with open arms and say, okay, let's do it together. It is inevitable, and we will be at the forefront of this revolution, and not trying to, stop the growth, because it's really stupid, I think. So that's my little prediction.
I think it's important that we, recognize the stable coins as kind of the future, to maybe separate politics, state politics from finances. So, things that are happening in the world, like, conflicts and whatnot, they wouldn't actually influence that much, the simple investor that just, wants to make some, savings and keeps their savings in some, stable coin like USDT or USDC. And you can even see the same thing in Venezuela, right? Where the inflation is extreme. So people just, go for the cryptocurrencies, and, even whole countries accepting, for example, Bitcoin with El Salvador as, a way of payment. That is definitely a great step, just to make, that division.
And also, one of our, as I said before, our second biggest market is Brazil. And because of inflation in Brazil, everybody's using, Bitcoins there, because, they could stop them from, getting inflation. In Belarus, it is incredibly popular now as well. In African countries, cryptocurrencies are incredibly popular because everybody owns a phone, but their currency is in the gutter. So it's really democratizing finance for quite a lot of unprivileged people. So
it's basically giving, you rule your money as a person. But talking about, the conflicts, what are your future plans for the development of the project in connection with the current situation in the world as it is?
You mean the war in the Ukraine? The war doesn't really affect us in any way. We're not based in Russia. I don't live in Russia, so it doesn't really affect us. I explained, we have some employees in Russia and Ukraine. I've explained my experiences to do with that in the CoinDesk article, but it doesn't affect us in any way. We are very much focused on Europe and America. We are working towards obtaining a license in Wyoming. At the moment, we are very close. We already have the money transmitter license there, and we're working towards, getting other licenses there as well. In terms of our plan for this year, we want to fully complete our ecosystem by the end of the year, which is stated, in our white paper. That's what we promised to our token holders when we raised 50 million. We want to start the aggressive marketing, with all of the markets worldwide, including South America, North America, Europe, etc. We want to start the integration of our virtual debit card. We're working incredibly hard on finding the right providers at the moment. We want to finish our NFT platform It's in the final stages at the moment as well. We want to fully launch our launchpad, as I mentioned before. We want to find that number one project, and we wanted to succeed, and we want to develop that area of our B2B side of our business even further. We want to get the listing on the tier one exchange by the end of the year. I think that's one of my main goals at the moment as well. I have talks with at least 3 cryptocurrency exchanges at the moment, and they ask for quite a lot of documents, but I think we'll get there by the end of the year. That's our pessimistic thing. I hope that we will be able to get it by the end of the summer, but we'll see. What else? We want to improve our platform in terms of the user experience. So as I said before, we've redesigned our app. We are at the moment in the process of finalizing the design for our web, which we will implement by the end of spring as well. We want to introduce margin trading, options trading, futures trading. That's the kind of thing that, not that many people use it, but it is expected of major cryptocurrency platforms nowadays. So we have to introduce it by the end of the year as well. And we also want to include APIs, so people would be able to connect to our platform externally, not through our interface. So I think that those are the main things that we're planning to do this year. In terms of our future plans, I think we want to become a top 3 financial ecosystems, fighting with Binance. We're catching up at the moment, but I think we will be able to, be better than them for sure. We want to provide the widest range of crypto services. We want to provide the widest range of the largest number of crypto coins as well. We want to promote financial freedom, financial democracy. As I said before, it is incredibly important to us. It's our number one mission statement. And we want to provide financial services to 7 billion people. As I said before, that's our mantra. That's our motto.
But that's good. I mean, going there is definitely going, it's more about the journey still, isn't it, than the final goal. But seeing how many products you already have in your range and how many are, yet to come, I'm pretty positive that you guys can, compete with Binance, on a real scale, right? Because you have plenty of the features that they already have. You're planning even more. Of course, Binance, as you said, is just orders of magnitude, when it comes to financing and all that. And they also have, quite a lot of experience on the market. But looking at PointPay, it definitely has a huge potential to deliver. So looking forward to see with, all the plans, because they look really good so far.
Thank you. All right. Well, thank you very much for inviting me over, Cryptonado. It was, a brilliant interview, and I very much enjoyed talking to you about my platform. Thank you very much for spending time with me.
Oh, thank you as well. It was really lovely to have a speak with you about PointPay, because it is definitely fantastic and, super interesting project, especially with that wide range of products that you guys are providing. You can literally find anything you want for yourselves. As a crypto investor, and that crypto score is also fantastic for bringing up new people into it. Those look absolutely lovely.
Thank you.
So we can wrap it up then. Again, thank you so much for talking with me, and all the best then in your project.
You too. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Take care now. Bye.
Bye.